Hi, and welcome to the channel. So today I wanted to take a look at a TikToker's message that was posted. She goes by the name of Miss Boss Bunny. She's Canadian. And I'm just going to call her Miss Bunny for short, okay? So despite the picture that we're seeing here, the surgery or the event that she's about to discuss has nothing to do with her nose, okay? In fact, she had planned to do some sort of, I don't know if it was an augmentation, but an implant. And according to her, she traveled from Canada to the US. She put in a lot of money, according to her, her life savings. And she was just treated poorly by this doctor and his staff. The procedure was never performed, and she was left stranded there. All right, so let's jump into the video and hear what she has to say, and then I'll just come back with my own little 2 cents commentary.
Hey, so this is kind of what's going on. I came to Miami, Florida to have a breast exchange for my implants because it was time to change them. I did some research. I found the doctor that I really wanted to use. He seemed like a great doctor. He had good reviews online. So I thought. I worked with his coordinator to, plan out what I was wanting before I came. Size, type of implant, cost, the whole nine. I traveled from Kelowna to Vancouver, Vancouver to Montreal, Montreal to Fort Lauderdale, then an hour taxi ride to his office. As you can see, I'm literally sitting on the bench outside of his office. And spent a fortune to get here just to be told that he isn't willing to do my implants because he doesn't do that size anymore, he says. Even though he has in the past, there's lots of girls that I follow that he has done. And then he tries to deny the fact that that was ever approved. I show him the text messages on my phone of his coordinator agreeing to the size, giving me the price, giving me the quote. I sent her photos. I will be posting all of this as well, so you guys can see all of it. Then he leaves the office, the room, never comes back. Doesn't come back to say sorry, that he can't do it or that he's not willing to do it. He sends someone else. And they're basically like, we'll give you your deposit back and you can leave. Meanwhile, I have traveled a very long way to get here to see this doctor. I have spent a lot of money on a condo for 10 days because I had to have recovery. I spent money on a recovery nurse to take care of me. And he could care less. They leave me sitting in the room for a good 30 minutes at least. Don't come back in. I'm crying because I'm visibly upset, obviously, because I've spent all my savings to do this. And I go to the front. You guys will see the videos. I've recorded all of it because I have the right to do so. Then they basically tried to buy me off with a $500 check. And I asked the girl, like, is this just a take this $500 and go away money? And she nods her head and says yes. Like, where is this right? Where is this acceptable? Like, they've asked me to leave because I was crying, because I was upset. They said they called me a taxi, which there still is no taxi. I've been out here for almost an hour in the sun waiting. I can't get a hold of a taxi. I don't know what to do. I'm basically standing here, sitting on a park bench, directly outside of their office. And they don't care. They don't care at all. They don't care that I traveled from another country to come here for this. They don't care that it cost me a fortune. They offered me a $500 check, which I'll show you guys. Like, this honestly is more of a slap in the face than I've ever been in my entire life. I've never felt so disrespected, humiliated, and just completely in awe of the worst customer service I've ever had in my life, to the point like I'm sitting in the sun in sweatpants, warm black clothes because I came from Canada where it's cold, in the blistering sun, and I can't get a car to take me to my hotel. I'm not from here. I don't know what to do. And the doctor could care less except for take $500 and go away. Like, what is $500? Like, you're trying to bribe me? Like, it doesn't work that way. And I'm going to make sure that other people don't have the same interaction with you and your staff that I have when I was nothing but thorough. I did my due diligence. I talked with your coordinators. I pre-planned. I organized. I made sure that I did everything I could do. And nobody cared at this office. When he was like, I can't, I won't, I'm not going to do them. And I just started crying and he just left. Like, not like, I'm really sorry for the confusion. This shouldn't have happened. I apologize. I don't even want your stupid $500 check. I want your apology. I want you to say, I'm really sorry that I didn't do my due diligence and I didn't advise my staff that I wouldn't do those implants. I'm sorry that I wasted your hard-earned money, your savings, and your time to come to another country to see me. No, he just ran away and didn't come back to say anything. He just thought it was completely acceptable just to walk away from me and treat me like I was garbage. Because that's how I feel. So I will be posting more of this.
Now, following that video, Miss Bunny did actually post her receipts, her text message exchanges with the coordinator and their agreement upon what size and the amount that she would pay. So I slowed this down some so that you guys could get a chance to read it, what is mentioned in the exchanges. Now you may have to press pause if you want to have a good read, but this is basically the exchange. There was no direct exchange with the doctor from what we can see. So it's basically her saying to the coordinator or whomever, hey, this is what I want done. Do you offer it? And how much does it cost? The person's replying, yes, we can do it. Send me your pics. She sends her pictures, and then the person confirms, yes, we can do what it is that you want us to do. This is the amount. She confirms, are you sure you could do it this size? The person replies, yes, they can, and this is the price. All right, so now for my 2 cents. So I just like to preface by saying that there are 2 additional videos, and she had a live Q&A session about this, and I'll leave the link to her TikTok if you do have TikTok, where you can actually review like her update and final thoughts on this whole situation. So she did break down a couple of answer, I should say, a couple of questions that even myself had, you know. So for one, some of her viewers wanted to know, well, why she wanted to go that big of a size. Although it's not really any of our business, but she was kind enough to explain to us that, you know, she does have some saggy skin and she was hoping to be able to fill it out. She clarified that she did not spend her life savings. What she did was she did save up specifically for this this surgery, and she was just upset because of course, the expenses of having to, you know, your plane tickets, and of course, she had to pay for someone to take care of her affairs, her business in Canada while she was away, paying for a recovery nurse to help see her through her recovery, and for the Airbnb or, you know, condo that she rented out where she would be staying. So she did put a lot of money out of pocket, and I'm quite sure, you know, whatever money that she down paid on the condo, she probably didn't get a return back on that. And of course, for the nurse, and of course, the airline tickets, well, that's already gone, right? You can't recoup on those fees. So for her, it was the lack of customer service, the lack of empathy from the doctor, the fact that he wouldn't even come out and take accountability and say, well, there was whatever miscommunication or what have you, but the basic of just apologizing for the whole incident, that was the biggest issue for her. So for her, the money that they were giving her back, $500 or whatever, return from her down payment, that wasn't a big issue for her. It was the whole dismissal of it all, the whole lack of empathy by the doctor. So it was very unprofessional, and it was very cold treatment, and it was a total disregard. So having said that now, for me, I totally get where she's coming from with the whole situation of the doctor not even taking accountability. And of course, why would they? They're trying to avoid being sued. They're trying to avoid malpractice, lawsuits against them. But it was very cold and callous of this doctor to not even come out and show his face, and just very cowardly to just leave it up to the clerks at the front to deal with the issue. After listening to the whole story, the biggest red flag in all of this is that you didn't even have an in-person consultation. There was no talks about, okay, I will need you to come down in, person, just come for one visit so that I could do a checkup with you. I need you to send me, your blood work, or, what type of allergies you have, or none of that was discussed. None of that whatsoever. It was basically window shopping. Hey, I like this dress. Do you have it in a size XYZ? You do? Okay. Well, I'm going to come down. Okay. I take some money off my credit card. I'm coming down to the shop. Okay. And I'm going to come and pick it up and give you the rest of my payment. And then you walk out with the dress. Like, that's the way I felt like when I'm reading the whole exchange between her and this consultant, or whoever it was, assistant that she's texting. Yeah, so the surgery it's a risk to your life. There's no procedure where you're going under a knife that does not carry a risk. And the risk is high, so it's important that we do our due diligence in verifying the doctors that we choose, but also look for signs. What are some of important questions that doctors should be asking us before we put ourselves on a table for them to commence dissection? Those are important. And I think although we've come a long way with medical procedures, and, everyone loves to say it's, well, not everyone, who am I talking about? I'm rambling on, sorry. Some people love to say that, it's just a minor procedure. It's been done so many times before, and there's no problem. The rate of recovery is this percentage, and it's great. But it's not. Every time you put yourself under a knife, okay, it comes with a risk. And, if she had gone under with this doctor who was so cold and dismissive towards her, then there was a chance that her life could have been lost. And not only that, let's say she did survive the surgery, then are we looking at a botched situation here? Are we looking at something later on down the line that's going to come with its own set of complications to her body and to her health? We don't know. So my whole point, my whole spiel, okay, is not to victim blame or to make this individual feel bad whatsoever. But I think this serves as a great example, just reading that exchange, that we, the patients out there, we need to do better when we're putting our life, our bodies in the hands of these individuals. At the end of the day, they're not gods. They have issues, problems themselves. And they might think they're perfectionists, but they can also make mistakes. And that mistake can be costly, so costly that it could cost us our lives. All right, so that wraps up my thoughts on this whole issue. I'm very happy that it didn't happen for her, and she seems to have reflected on the whole experience and is moving forward and saving her money in order to get the surgery with a much better doctor. And I hope everything works out for her. And for you, the listeners out there, in the comment section, please let me know how you feel. What are your thoughts? What's your feedback on this video? And on the whole situation surrounding Miss Boss Bunny's experience with this doctor.